What's up, Osmos? This is Aspectron here, and welcome back to another episode of Room Number 9. As today, as I thought I had my laptop on here for time reasons, we're here for another episode of Room Number 9, and I'm really excited to see, well, maybe excited is not the best word. I'm rather curious, I think is the best way to put it, to see what task we're going to do. Because, I mean, we're going to be like in... Like, the whole thing with task 1 is literally going to be like humiliation. And again, it seems like that one room is definitely okay with that, because I'm assuming they keep doing that every day, because I don't think they're going to, because I feel like if you keep doing task 2, eventually the person is going to die, you know what I mean? But it could change. But at this point, from what I'm seeing, a lot of it's like, it's going to cause a lot of blood loss, you know? So it's like, if you keep doing task number 2, I just don't see it being viable. Where I think that one room, the one that's been there for a very long time, sorry, one sec. The one that's been there for a very long time, they've been probably doing task 1 the whole time just because it's easy for them, I guess, because they actually like doing that type of thing. And like I said, they're probably treating this like an actual vacation, which, again, it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know. Like, maybe, again, for some it could be a vacation, but like, man, I don't know how you could see that, especially since you're trapped and you're kind of like I mean, I say you are a guinea pig to these scientists and such, or whoever's doing these tests. Hopefully we find out. May not exact answer, but I hope we get a hint to find out who. I mean, my guess is it's the government. That's simply my guess, but I could be definitely wrong on that. But anyways, thank you guys for being patient. I had a very busy week. I feel energized today. Today's actually been a great day, even though I woke up super late. I'm not going to tell you guys when I woke up, honestly, but because it's embarrassing to me. However, it was the first time in weeks I got sleep. Like, I actually slept, and it felt great, and that's why I'm like energized. I feel really good right now. But I don't have much time to record this episode because my stars are playing. I'm doing this while the intermission's happening, and the times are playing tonight, so I'm gonna go to that. So this episode won't be too long, but I hope you guys still enjoy it. And without further ado, let's shut up and let's continue on playing, right? I'm sure that's what you guys wanted from the start, per the usual, I would assume. I don't know, but it's good to see you guys again. Anyways, the two that stood there, wordless, face fucking well, I mean, that's a way of putting it. Just don't move your hips, I guess. You know, I don't know how it is, but that's what it is. That is, right? Oh, sure, Seiji knew the proper word. Wait, what? I don't even know. Irrimation? I wasn't about to ask him though. It'd be different if I had to do it, but I couldn't even joke with Seiji in that moment. Also, boy, were they detailed. 10 centimeters long, 8 milliliters deep. They really weren't pulling punches. Then Seiji calmly pressed the details icon on the screen. It was another detailed list of specified implements: a ring gag, handcuffs, you know, pepperoni clamps, a prostate thingamajig. other than the gag, it was the same lineup as last time. That kind of gag was keeping someone's mouth open, so it really must have been, you know, face stretching that they were after. I forgot what it was. I mean, I'm pulling a Daichi here, kind of like a joke out of a very bad situation. I guess maybe that's how I am. I don't know, but I guess I really don't recognize it. But it's like, I know, was it Good Mythical Morning or was it Samaj? I don't. Well, they're under the same banner now, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was from both. But it was one of those channels I remember where they test out Japanese products. I think it was a Japanese, or it was maybe a Korean product. I don't remember. But it was like one. It really felt. It looked like it was a gag type of thing. But the thing is, it's supposed to help your face in some way. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I wonder. Okay. Anyways, I'm just thinking like, I don't know why I thought to that. I just remember that. I was like, I'm trying to get like a picture in my head. But anyways, I don't know what the fuck was I talking about. Well, why did I even brought that up? It was so unnecessary. The person to be on the receiving end of that treatment gave even Master a sigh. He must have been expecting as much. Just bringing a hand to his mouth, lost in thought. What the heck? What's wrong with me? Oh, that's why. I was like, why is my laptop being weird over here? Again, I need a time just to make sure, but... Seiji answered shortly after a brief moment of thought. He turned off the TV as if to end the conversation there, and headed back to one of the chairs, leaving me with the room's tablet. I almost felt a little abandoned when he left me like that, but I knew it wasn't like that. He was saying, just do it. He was telling me to just do it. Fine, I guess, but next time, if it escalates further, we have to go with my task. It won't bother me. Hurt me all you like. Oh man, it's sad because, yeah, I feel like maybe Daichi's gonna be the guy. Maybe not Seiji per se. I mean, Seiji's kind of like, Seiji's still keeping a good poker face. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. At least I think so. But I feel like Daichi is about to like, he's gonna like fall into one of the deep ends. He's gonna be the one like getting hurt. Like, for example, when I say it like that, kind of like dramatical murder, for example, in Noise's route, where he felt like when he feels pain, he feels good about it. You know. It's kind of like one of those things that this is definitely more to the extreme end, unless you consider Noise's bad end. Then yeah, to that extreme end, like I can see Daichi going to that. He's like, he likes it. He likes feeling that. Why? I don't know. And then he also and he can go on the other deep end where he likes the role of being a power. Well, in this case, a power top where he has all control. And you could kind of make that comparison to like how Euphoria is, if you've seen that or read it. You probably know what I'm talking about with the main character, where when he has the sense of power, is just like he loses himself in the moment. Not gonna sing the song, but anyways, you see where I'm going with here. I felt a little miserable with nothing in particular to do, so I sat down on the bed and fiddled with the tablet. I left the TV off. Apparently, they let us just adjust the alarm when the alarm would go off, how frequently and what sound to use. It even looked like we could change when our food would arrive and the specific deadline each day for a task. I didn't really feel like changing it though. Other than the food part, that wasn't anything particularly appealing. Then I figured I might as well read over the rules again. They mentioned something about some kind of compensation, but it didn't say how much. It didn't sound like it would be enough to make up for the pain and suffering would have to bear in this place, though, which pissed me off. Oh yeah, that reminded me that I did pick the option the same as subject B. I hope it meant we would be able to return to the same place at the same time. Personally, I want us to go home together. That way we could both be sure we were safe and got home. There's even another option where you could write your own request in detail. Of course, that came with a disclaimer saying that not all requests may be fulfilled, which I guess meant that if you put something silly like, I've had enough Okinawa, take me to New York, it may not go through. It would be pretty scary to go to sleep and wake up in New York. I didn't even have a passport. The fact that I did have the ability to get me to America would be terrifying in its own right, but it would also suck to not be able to get home. It would be scary if I suddenly ended up with a passport too. I hated how it felt like they could do absolutely anything. If only I could live in a world where I could never encounter a dark organization like this. I'm telling you, like, I feel like all the hints are saying government. I mean, simple as that. It could be it could just be like a dark organization. And I know, I'm gonna mention when I make that comment video, when I actually like have time to make it now, because I know it's gonna take a while. But when I do make that comment video, I did read a comment where someone made the suggestion that maybe the no thank you and Route Number 9's in the same universe, if you will, and the organization that Hadi was working for, spoiler alert, is also part of this game, and maybe the ones condoning this or holding this. But I don't know. At the same time, it's like, what's the benefit if that is the case? Because the whole thing with no thank you is like, if I remember, it was like the pink pills, and then there was like a whole drug organization. That's the thing. It felt like a general drug organization. I would think like they just wanted money and power, simple as that. And I don't see how this would be beneficial to them in any way, unless they just like seeing people get tortured. I don't know, but I don't see it being that. I think it's an interesting thing and maybe something to explore, because you know there's still a good amount left in this game. I would assume, at least, because we're only on day 4, I think, or day 3. But yeah, I'm pretty confident saying that this is definitely from the government. That's my guess. This dark organization, quote unquote, is definitely the government, and it would make sense because government, you know, stuff is very, very interesting to say the least. Because you know, I don't want to get in the bad side of things. I don't want Google to pick up on that. But anyways, or rather, where I never would have encountered one. I scrolled to the next page. The item that immediately jumped out at me was the title corpse disposal. It was the one that made me feel sick to my stomach the day we got here. It was too terrifying to even think about. The default option was intern at the facility. Was this place really that big? That'd mean never going home and becoming a permanently missing person. There would also be the option to have your body abandoned near your residence. I guess it was fair to assume the implication was that you could have a proper funeral that way. Not that any of this was really fair. It had a next of kin feel too. It was required even. I didn't really have a reason to mess with it. I didn't want to either. I didn't want to think about dying or what would happen after. I didn't want either of us to die. I had to stop. Looking at this stuff just made me think of awful things. Alright, exercise is just the thing at times like this. I wasn't kidding about that either. Exercise really is great for this sort of thing. It's kind of like how you feel almost refreshed after a big move since you have to use your body so much. Like the natural weight training you get from carrying heavy boxes around always works great to clear bad moods. As far as I knew, it was something to do with the Serentine release. My information source for that has been the guy currently sitting on the other side of the room reading an ebook. So exercise it is. Yeah, you could take that out of context, but you know, I mean, there is a lot of stretching so far in this game, so it kind of goes on point. I stood up straight, clasped my hands behind my head before bending my knees as if I was sitting down in a chair. Once my knees were at a 90-degree angle, I held it for a moment before slowly standing back up. My body seemed to still be in decent condition. I wasn't so sure after I lost all that blood, but I guess it had been, what, 3 days already? I didn't feel any ill effects.
Yaoi.
For real though. Damn, my thighs were tingling. Seiji glanced over at me. He looked like he was suffering from secondhand embarrassment. Seriously though, the older you get, the squats become hard. I remember squats is easy for me at the time, because in case you guys didn't know, I like played high school football and middle school football. Like I played like a good 5 years of football, and I was actually really good at it, surprisingly. I didn't think I was ever going to be good at football, but I ended up being kind of a natural. But the thing is, like, I didn't really love it like it. I liked it, but you know, anyways. But I was really good because I played like offensive line, defensive line, and I was really good at squats. Believe it or not, the weakest point for me was like bench press and all that. Anything to do with chest or arms, I was terrible at. But anything with legs, I killed it. Like I could put it on the highest weight and be like, okay, I got this, easy peasy. Seriously, like I could do like invert. I was just great with squats in general. I don't know why, but it was just something I was good at. Something I figured out, which is why like my thighs are fucking huge. They're so huge. I haven't worked them out in so long, so maybe there's like a bit more fat, but like they're ripped and they're freaking tree trunks, I'm telling you. But why do you want to know that? I don't think you did. You're welcome for the bad images I gave you, but I gave him a yes sir and decided to switch to a less strenuous exercise just to be safe. Sit-ups this time. That got me thinking though. I wonder if we could get a treadmill or stationary bike or something. I thought I saw something like that on the request list. I considered him mentioning it to Seiji. I was sure he was feeling out of shape too, so I figured it could be nice for the both of us. Right? Just as I thought of saying something, Seiji checked his phone and got to his feet. He stood up straight with his hands together, surprisingly so, because, you know, it is a be-all game after all. You can never stay straight. That is just the truth. You guys already know this at this point, but with his hands together in front of his chest and then stretch his arms out over his head, I watched Seiji's perplexing movements as I did sit-ups on the bed. He leaned forward and bent over. My eyes widened a little as he touched the carpet with his fingertips. His knees looked stiff, but he was pretty flexible. He kept his hands on the floor and slid his legs back at, one at a time, getting into almost a starting push-up position. Well, at least that's what I thought, but then he stuck his butt up in the air. It was like his butt was at the top of the mountain. A strange mood suddenly came over me. I couldn't help but think about how I'd seen underneath those clothes of his. No, stop.
Yoga.
I've always wanted to do yoga because I like stretching. not you know what I mean, like actual stretching. But yeah, it's like I like doing it. I always want to try yoga, but at the same time, I don't think I'm the most flexible. And I'm also pretty damn big for my size. where I'm not sure, you know, I feel like I definitely need to get in shape before I like attempt to do that, because I'm afraid I'm gonna pull something. But I've always been curious, to say the least. The moon seemed kind of weird, but it seemed like a good stretch. I wonder if even I could do it. I couldn't even handle a little stretching. Room number 9. 2 people awkwardly doing yoga. We really should be swimming in the ocean right now or rubbing oil on some beach bays, but instead we're stretching while our out-of-shape bodies beg us to stop. My question came out slightly strained as Seiji moved into another pose, looking calm and composed as ever. This yoga stuff is actually pretty hard. Oh yeah, I believe that. Yeah, like it is. I know most people who have done yoga, it's like definitely a stress reliever for the most part, and again, it's just good for you. You stay limb. I mean, it makes sense because you're stretching, and it's different from like working out. Like doing weights, I guess, because like when you do weights, I feel like it is a stress reliever to a weight, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know, I feel like if you do yoga like early in the morning before your day starts, like I feel like you just feel good after, you know, more than you would with weights. I mean, because when I did weights, like I just didn't care. It was just kind of like meh. But I feel like if you do yoga, it's like you feel limber, you feel good. I mean, because after all, you stretched. You know what I mean? But okay, seriously though, you get it. You get it. None of my girlfriends would ever have done that. I was so glad we could have a normal conversation and laugh together again. We still had 6 days to go, and that would have been brutal if we weren't talking. It's easy to get depressed when all the reality weighing on your head is that sucky after all. It was past 8. We'd eaten dinner and had some time for our stomachs to settle. I still hadn't decided whether to have a shower yet. My heart was heavy with the thoughts of what was to come. Did we really have to do this? Seiji got up first as I ruminated on the subject while staring vacantly at the clock in the upper right hand corner of the TV screen. I wasn't really in a place where I could have offered to go first, but Seiji was his usual self, capable of thinking things through quickly and making decisions just as quickly. Oh, I thought it was her son. Seiji really gave everything his all. I mean, he was definitely a lot faster at thinking things through than me. I always felt like he was one step ahead. I'd always liked that about him, respected him for it, and even, but at the same time, I felt like he was always just out of reach because of it. The sound of the bathroom door open seemed excessively loud as Seiji appeared clad in his bathrobe again. Seiji was attractive and brilliant, an all-around great guy. So why did I have to do such awful things to him again? Yes, sir. I figured I should grab that shower. I faltered for a moment, debating whether I should bring him a change of clothes or just use a bathrobe. Ultimately, I settled on my sweats. I wanted to cling to the things that remind me of who I was. I washed myself thoroughly, every nook and cranny. My arousal from the previous days seemed like a distant memory with how sad and dejected my toy looked. That gave me brief peace of mind, but it was a problem in its own way. I was required to give him milk, so how is that going to work? Man, I did have to do this with my best friend. My thoughts ran in circles as I meticulously cleaned myself from head to toe. I mused to myself that someone must have been watching me do all that, but it was less than an idle thought and more of a conviction at this point. When I got back into the room, Seiji was already, in his birthday suit and sitting on the bed along with the implements. He hadn't touched him yet. When I approached, he got out the bed and onto his knees. Well, it looks like we are going to stop it here. You're not going to see any of this. But we have somewhere to go to that too. So we are going to start this episode off on a different note. So for you guys on Patreon, you guys are going to have an episode up tonight. As after the game's in tonight, I am going to make this episode, and you guys on Patreon will get this exclusive scene that's about to happen. Well, tomorrow. So tomorrow, and we'll continue for more No Thank You tomorrow. We might actually live stream tomorrow as well, so stay tuned. So if you haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch or follow me on Twitch, wherever you prefer. All good. And the link to the description box down below. And of course, again, my Patreon's in the link as well in the description box down below. If you haven't already, follow me on all social medias while you're at it. And outside of that, again, we're gonna have more room number 9 tomorrow. We are gonna start a new Let's Play / demo Let's Play, so stay tuned for that. I'm not sure exactly when, but other than that, thank you guys for watching, and let me know in the comment box down below. who do you think is this dark, or if you haven't played at least, who do you think is the dark organization behind this? Like, what's your theory on that? And if you have played it already, what was your initial thought on who the dark organization is? Like, I'm pretty strict in saying I think it's the government. Simple as that. It's like making a connection to dramatical murder again, and just like, to be fair, it's a lot of games that do this where it ends up being like a big government thing, but it makes sense too because they have the power to do it. I mean, they have the resources to do it, and there's a chance that it's probably a crime organization, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I just don't see them. Why would they do this unless like the head crime guy is like having pleasure watching this? I don't know. It's like, or it's like in a very messed up world, it's like fun for him to watch, or her, whoever it is, you know. It's one of those things where it's like, for them, like watching people do this is like watching TV for us, I guess, or like watching anime or watching sports. It's like an enjoyable thing. It could be one of those things too, but I don't know. That it just depends. But I'm pretty confident saying, and safe to say, that it is from the government that's doing this all. But again, thank you guys for watching this very short episode. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And guys on Patreon, everyone on Patreon, prepare for the next episode to come up tomorrow, as I'm going to, again, record tonight, and you guys will see us tomorrow. So look forward to that. And other than that, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later, okay? Love you, and don't forget to stay awesome.